Greetings from the heart of West Seattle. This is Amy Denio. How the heck are you? Tell me everything. I'm here, West Seattle, making a lot of music, collaborating with a lot of friends, and so that's what this time is for, is reaching out to people, maybe trying some things that you've never tried before. Like I've said before, like writing down some dreams that you've had. Last night I dreamt in Italian again, but it was funny. I was always like one step behind, like holding on, wait a second, I'm almost there. Anyway, let's sing today. But actually, let's start by breathing, because that's really the best way to warm up. Have you breathed yet today? I know, I have a couple times just to make sure I'm still around. So, counting for 4, breathing in and breathing out. This goes out to Catherine Chindaporn, who's Kate Johnston, who lives in Chiang Mai, and she's been a Buddhist monk for many years. It's a Buddhist breathing meditation. All you do is count to 4. It's easy. Anyone can count to 4. If you can count to 4, you can do this. So, and out. And in. Make a lot of noise. Out. Make faces. Stretch your face muscles. Begin to move, breathing in. And out. Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's just have a little dance party here. You ready? 1, 2, ready, go. Join me. Hey, it didn't break. Alright, so the most important part of our singing apparatus, get it, is the diaphragm. So follow me with this important instruction. Huh! Can you do that? Really engage this part. Huh! Alright, let's try 2. Huh, huh! It's pretty funny, right? Huh, 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 huh. Huh, 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 huh. Try it. Huh, 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 huh. Huh, 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 huh. Huh, 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 huh. Huh, 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 huh. I'm going to make a loop. Huh, 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 huh. Huh, 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 huh. Huh, 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 huh. Huh, 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 huh. Hee hee ha. Huh, huh, huh. Hee hee ha. Huh, huh, huh. Dang 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 bing dang sing ha. Dang 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 bee. Now let's try a little solo over this. Long tones, right? Let's sing low. Okay, a couple more ha-has. You feel it? Sing about your favorite flower. What's mine? Petunia. What's your favorite flower? You know what? Lilacs aren't so bad. Lilacs aren't so bad. Kinda stinky but sorta good. Kinda stinky but sorta good. Oh, oh, oh. Okay, some more of this diaphragmatic warm-up. You ready? Let's do it. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ready? Ho, 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 ho. It's fun. It's really good here. You're going to be like an Amazon by the end of this session. It's only half an hour, so don't be afraid. Anyway, that's great. I'm glad you're warming up. I'm kind of warming up. I think it's a good thing to warm up. So what's new? How are you all doing? I guess I'm doing pretty good. I've just been creating a lot of music, looking at the numbers of the growing pandemic and using them as musical information. And I've been taking stock of all the cities where I've lived in the past, like Detroit, that's where I grew up, Colorado Springs, Northampton, Massachusetts, Seattle, Rome. I spent a bunch of time in Rome. And taking the numbers of people who were afflicted and unfortunately the people that have left us, and then creating melodies out of those. So I have a whole new series. It's morbid, but it's actually really beautiful and really cathartic. So maybe you too could come up with a way to work with information and make something beautiful out of it, because this is just a gigantic message that we're getting, and if only we could understand what it is. And as I've mentioned before, I really think the message is we need to change what we're doing. We need to learn how to improvise. We need to change our habits and also change our habitual reactions to things. It's time to really, like my hero of all time, Edo Maika. Edo Maika is a rapper from Bosnia, and I saw him last April, and he said to me, Amy, you know what it is? You have a situation and you react to it because you know that situation. You react the same way you always have. But why not take that drawer with all those built-in reactions and open it up and empty it out on the floor and fill that little drawer with a new emotion? So I think that's perfect for this age. It's time for us to rebuild our reactions, rebuild our actions as well. Anyway, let's see. So I just want to put out a very loving hug to my relatives in Traverse City for the passing of Nancy Muha. She went to Florida with her husband Joe in March, and unfortunately became afflicted with COVID, and she left us last week. Joe is still hanging on, but his heart is broken. It is really, really difficult for everyone, I know. So my love goes out to all of you, everyone. It's how we can survive. And it's something I think about a lot, now that I'm 59, that I know a lot of people who have passed on. I think heaven must be a really interesting place by this point. But anyway, my point is, the love can outweigh the loss. So remember your love. That's what keeps us going. Loss is what it is, but love is infinite. So keep that in mind. So anyway, let's see. I'm going to do some improvisations here, and I'd like you to sing along. And we'll just get going here with some kind of low resolution delay, since most of the government seems to be in low resolution instead of high resolution. I thought it would be appropriate to be completely not really understood in a way that could echo across the land. Okay, you ready? Here we go. So I have a couple of articles that I've read lately that are pretty interesting. One I've mentioned already. It's in the New Yorker. Look up how pandemics have shaped human history. It's very interesting because some pandemics don't really go away. And so that might be what we're facing now. So we have to really learn how to deal with things rationally. And actually that leads to another article I just came across in the New York Times. It's an op-ed piece. I think it's, I don't know, it's from this week, maybe yesterday. And shout out to Chris Littlefield for posting it because I didn't know about it. Anyway, a nurse went to New York to work in the hospital where she had interned, and she's actually a respiratory specialist and had developed methods to intubate people and knows a lot about respiratory distress. And what she found was that people who were coming to the hospital in extreme distress had extreme pneumonia, and it was really difficult for them to progress. They were already in such an advanced stage, and it was odd to her because she noticed also that people were coming to the hospital for other reasons, for accidents or injuries at home or whatever, that did not have COVID as a complaint, but their lungs were completely filled with pneumonia, or however you say it. They were completely ill with pneumonia, and they didn't even notice it. So basically, this virus is really interesting. It operates in a way that it inhabits your body. You don't really understand what's going on. Maybe you don't feel well, but you don't really feel the symptoms until it's kind of too late. So her recommendation, and this is mind-blowing, and I think it's really brilliant, because we're all like, how can we find out? Oh, I don't know if I've had it or not, and maybe I'm going to have it. The way you do it is she did these blood count measurements using that little thing you put on the end of your finger. It's called a pulse oximeter. And she found that some patients had an oxygen count in their bloodstream of 50%. And they were still like on their cell phones and stuff, and they were still like, they should have been legally dead, and they were functioning. So this is kind of a crazy discovery that if you go ahead and start measuring your oxygen level, that's the best way to know how you're doing. And it's a good thing to know in general anyway. Like some of her colleagues who are, medical doctors, were able to do preventative measures for other situations that they had. So that's an interesting fact. Think about measuring your blood oxygen levels, even if you're feeling okay. And that leads to the perennial question. I'd like to know how many of you think you already had this darn thing. I know that the Tipton Sax Quartet met in January to record our 14th album, Wabi Sabi. And First, Jessica was sick as a dog. I've never seen her that sick, and I've known her for almost 30 years. And then Sue and I came down with symptoms at the same time. Classic, horrific, aching flu, high fever that developed into the worst cough of my life. The worst. And that's right when the recording session started. And then Tina also became incredibly sick. Robert was already sick. He was from Salzburg, so he had his own version of it. Anyway, so we had basically all the same symptoms as what's going on now. So it's possible that we've already gone through it, and we're in Seattle, and that's one of the epicenters, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I'm just curious. I've already asked this on Facebook, but I'll ask again right now. How many of you might have had really strange flu symptoms related to this? I'm just curious. Anyway, the main thing to do is to stay in good humor and try to stay in pretty good, physical shape if you can. I do like 4.5 minutes of yoga every morning. I know this application called Down Dog is gratis, I think at least through May 1st, if not more. Look for Down Dog. It's a great yoga application. You can choose from between 9 minutes and an hour and a half. Easy to difficult. Is extremely flexible. Just like me. Look, I can raise my hand. All right. Well, anyway, enough of talking. Let's do some singing. Are you guys ready to sing some more? Here we go. Let's do this sweep echo. So I'm inviting all y'all to sing along, because singing is amazing thing. If you sing, especially if you hum, if you do the part of om, if you hum, you can relieve yourself of physical pain. I tell you right now, send away 1-800-no, no pain. All you have to do is hum, and I've been doing this for years. All I do is close my mouth. Shut up. I close my mouth and I hum, kind of a low tone, about maybe 3 or 4 notes above my lowest tone. So, And I do it for a while until I get my whole torso going. The best position to do it is lying on your back on a comfortable carpet somewhere. And just get that resonation going. It's unbelievable. It actually also, I just went through periodontal surgery. It relieved my oral pain tremendously. Like it literally disappeared. So that's why I like to invite people to sing with me once a week to try to get rid of any pain you might be experiencing. Hopefully you're not. So anyway, so let's do some more long tones. And that seems to be the best way. Here we go. I was singing about how I dreamt in Italian. I always love when I wake up and I've been dreaming in Italian. In this case, I was going to go play somewhere, and I hadn't seen the folks for a while. It's actually been a little while. I miss me mancate. And anyway, I was always kind of one step behind, like, wait for me, you guys, wait for me. And then I was in the dressing room, and there was a little tiny beer, but I didn't want it. That's what I remember of my fabulous dream. Well, I know it's very difficult for most people to survive right now, but if you are interested in supporting the arts, you can visit my Bandcamp page. You can also donate at PayPal. I have a Venmo thing. I also appreciate all the people who are supporting me on Patreon. I've been doing this for 30 years, and I'm still living hand to mouth. It's quite what I would like to do. Nothing really has changed. I've been joking about this, like here at the bottom of the fiscal totem pole, everything is just the same. We are improvising. We're finding a way to go from day to day. So anyway, if you can, donate. If you can't, I'm with you. I understand completely. I'm trying to think what else I wanted to share with you. Oh, I guess one final thing, which is I saw this really interesting documentary not too long ago on grounding, and the guy was talking about how he grew up on the edge of the Cheyenne reservation, and so he went to his friend's house in a teepee, and the mother said, "Take your shoes off, they're making you sick." And he said, "What?" And so he had these shoes with artificial soles, which most people have shoes with artificial soles. He discovered that really when he had his bare feet on the earth, it really felt a lot better. So this documentary goes on. It shows a woman who's a doctor, medical doctor, and she had a colicky baby, and there was no sleep for anyone for the first year or something. And then she realized the only time that she could relax was when she was in a park somewhere lying on the grass with her baby on her chest. And she realized, oh, I'm actually touching the earth. So for those of you who have been maybe inside too long, I really recommend, if it's possible, I know not everyone can, go outside with your bare feet and just feel the earth, because it's going to help you feel a lot better. There have been studies that show that grounding actually alleviates symptoms of all those unspecific illnesses that no one can figure out where they come from. So anyway, go ahead and ground yourself. And for those of you who are stuck, like my friend in Palermo, who goes out once a week to touch the earth, and his partner not at all, touch that little plant, that little potted plant you have, and just stay well, everyone. I really appreciate seeing you all. And so anyway, we'll do one more little song here. I think we'll just do stereo echo. Stereo go echo. Stereo go. Stereo go. Stare me out, go. Stare me out, go. Stare me out, go. Stereo, go. Stereo, go. Stereo, go. Dum ba dim ba bum ba bum ba bum lum ba bum 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 ba dum ba bum 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 ba bum lum ba bum bum hum ba dum bang bum dim bum ba dum bang bum dim hum bum 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 bang ba bum bum dim dum da ba ba bum bum bang la ba bum bum do ha la ba bum da la ba bum hum ba dum ba bum bum 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 ba bum ba dum ba bum bum ba dum ba bum bum ba dum ba bum ba dum how many dang it to do do na bum ba bum 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 hum ba bum bum do 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 hum ba bum bum do 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 hum ba bum do da bum do 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 da bum bum ciao a tutti Ciao a tutte. Ci vediamo il prossimo venerdì. I'm going to continue Spring Forth for the month of May. We'll see you next week at noon Pacific Standard Time. Greetings from West Seattle. I love you all. Ciao.